What's up, guys? It's Gaz. Welcome to the Warframe video. So this is kind of like a placeholder video while I'm still waiting for DE to get out that first message of 2020. Hopefully tomorrow, honestly. Like, I'm hoping for a message from DE tomorrow on if they're changing any of the Kuva Lich stuff, what they're doing with the Railjack stuff, and all that. But they're not going to change the Aksomati Prime in that update or notice tomorrow, as far as I'm aware. So let's go over that, because that information won't be changing soon, hopefully. So what we got for you is the Aksomati Prime, and it's part 2 of this Prime access that we've been showing. We showed the Baza Prime in a video like a week ago, and now we have these generic, full automatic crit pistols that come with Ivara Prime. So taking a quick look at these stats, we got 24% crit chance, 3x multiplier, so a really good crit multiplier there, 13 fire rate, 80 magazine, which is a really nice magazine, 1.4 reload, really good reloads. These have really nice stats so far, 18% status chance, acceptable for how much crit we have here, and it's highest weighted into slash with a little bit of puncture and impact thrown in the mix as well. So these things are pretty generic, honestly. They have a hidden passive, if you even call it that, where they start out being very inaccurate when you start firing, but as you hold on the trigger, look at that, it becomes more accurate and becomes pinpoint accurate basically once you're like through like half the magazine. See, very inaccurate into accurate. That is built into this weapon, and it's pretty unexciting. So let's go over the build. I'm also going to be comparing it to some other stuff that you could compare these weapons to. So full auto crit pistols. We've also got the Stiletto Prime. These are definitely more crit focused than the Stiletto Prime, but they have like half the stash chance roughly. But they're also slash weighted, unlike the Stiletto Prime that's mostly impact weighted. But yeah, it's also got less base damage and fire rate. So they're different weapons for sure. One of the weapons I've been comparing it to a lot is the Kuva Dubba Stubba, which is my number one crit secondary. And keep in mind, this is not showing the whole base stats right here. I also have 60% additional radiation base damage on my Kuva Dubba Stubba. So honestly, I think the Kuva Dubba Stubba is better, but hey, I mean, you can guarantee get the Aksomati Prime. You can't guarantee get the Kuva Dubba Stubba unless you buy it from another player. Some other ones you can compare this to, you compare it to the Twin Gremlins, if I still have those. They're the other Prisma Twin Gremlins. Similar situation, honestly. So, when we're looking at all this different stuff, guys, it's kind of making the Aksomati Prime not look super exciting. Also, we have the Twin Grakatas right here. That has a lot more fire rate, though, keep in mind. Okay, but let's just focus on what we have right now. We're going to be going over the build. I'm going to show the difference between... Oh, let's also quickly show the Aksomati Prime and the normal Aksomati, because that's actually going to be a big comparison between the video today, guys. So, the Aksomati Prime has base better everything, pretty much, besides crit, and it's got like neutral crit compared to the previous, and it's got a slightly worse accuracy. Look at how small that base damage improvement is. We go from 9 slash to 10 slash. The biggest buff on here is the status chance, an additional 10%. So when you look at how small these buffs are, and how they recently separated the disposition for riven mods, the normal Aksomati can actually outperform the Aksomati Prime, guys. Which is unfortunate, but hey, that's what they chose to do. They think that's the smart thing to do with their game balance, to make it so we're de-incentivized to use Rivens on these Primes, I guess. So, yeah, that happened. I'll show you the actual difference in stats on Rivens in a bit. We're not focusing on Rivens here, we're focusing on the guns. So yeah, I'm going with the Corrosive Heat build here, and we could go more into stats if you wanted to, but me personally, I like to go for the full crit situation. With this form of setup, you can actually put another dual stat in there, no problem. And you could honestly probably put another dual stat in there too. There you go. You can, with this form of setup, you can go to full status, you can go to full base damage crit, but we're going to stick with full base damage crit right now, with a little bit of heat thrown in the mix. Keep in mind, you could put another heat mod there, but I'm figuring like, hey, they threw a little bit more status chance at us on this thing. Why not just try to go with it a little bit more? So we're going to start level 120, these heavy gunners. Keep in mind, there's no corrosive protection equipped, and if you saw these enemies at level 120 with no corrosive protection, you're doing something really wrong. So, yeah, I mean, that was a pretty average kill time, I'd say, with a, like, riven, this isn't riven, with, like, a pretty standard, like, crit hybrid weapon nowadays, with all headshots, so, honestly, not super impressed, to be honest with me personally. But hey, at least it kills them. Let's do some body shots here. So with body shots, obviously much worse. That's that crit multiplier not dipping into the headshot multiplier as well. So yeah, if you go for a body shot, it does less damage. You would have thought. Okay, let's put them up to level 100 to 70. And we're going to go over some pros, cons, and some gameplay, because we got all that stuff for you today. As usual, I'm also going to compare the ribbons for the Prime and the ribbons for the normal Aksomati, because, yeah, it's a really big difference, actually. I was surprised how big the difference was. Also, happy 2020, guys. Really appreciate all the support that's been coming through on the streams and everything. It really, really honestly means a lot. So, now they have, like, even more armor. We need to rely on those corrosive procs. That's where the increased stash chance is kind of nice. So, yeah, honestly, what I'd expect from this kind of weapon. Body shots, it's like kind of like going to be a waste to show you, but hey, we're going to overstrip the armor before she dies, most likely. Nope. All right, cool. It's not terrible. Not really super impressive, though, either. So, let's get into the gameplay. By the way, guys, these things have an ammo problem if you're using them as a primary. So, keep that one in mind. We're also going to go over some pros and cons, too. So, same build as in the video. Let's go over some pros really quickly. So, they got pretty nice DPS. As I showed right there, I mean, like, it was acceptable DPS. And they have better base stats than the original, technically, by, like, 10% increased base damage. And that's pretty much where the pros stop, in my opinion. I mean, they're slash-based. That's pretty nice. The Kuva Dubba Stubba is slash-based as well. I'd actually recommend that over this. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the pros. They're full auto crit pistols. You don't have one already. These could be one of the better ones. Go over the cons now. So the normal Aksomati can probably outperform this when you put ribbons into account. We'll show the comparison on stats on that in a second here, guys. Also, ammo issues when used extensively. You'll see that in this mission. They have really fast fire rate, especially if you put lethal turret on there, where they can fire a little bit too fast sometimes, and you'll just waste a bunch of bullets. So, and if you don't have ammo mutation, I definitely would recommend putting ammo mutation on here. If you have the Exilus slot, if you're like going to be putting enough form on this to fit the Exilus slot on there, so keep that one in mind. Prime ammo, pistol ammo mutation might be a good choice for you. And then honestly, the hidden passive it has of being inaccurate and becoming more accurate over time, I consider a bad thing, because the bullets go over the place initially, and that can be bad in a lot of situations. And then another con is generic crit pistols. You might already have something like this. As we went over at the beginning of the video, if you got the Axolotl Prime, honestly, you probably don't even need these. If you get a good Kuva Dubba Stubba, you definitely don't need these, unless you want Mastery rank out of them. And then beyond that, I mean, they're not really like shining, amazing pieces of weaponry. I really hope that with Ivara Prime, in opinion time, I really hope with Ivara Prime they would have brought like silent, full auto crit pistols. That sounds sick. But no, instead we got the like the Gorgon passive or whatever, where it becomes more accurate over time. So I was kind of bummed about that. Now let's start getting into the ribbons, guys. So they actually did change the ribbons here. I'm going to show you my normal build with a ribbon. So here's the ribbon stats. 250% critical chance, 191% multi-shot, and the negative doesn't really matter. So our build has 128.9% crit chance with this ribbon. Also, we got like 483 corrosive with all the multi-shot thrown into effect. Same build on the Prime with the same ribbon. They nuke the multi-shot and the critical chance. I lose about 40% multi-shot with this setup. So with the Prime, we actually have less critical chance with the ribbon on the same build. So we've got 116.9% multi-shot, and then 499 corrosive with all the multi-shot in effect. So honestly, I think the people have done some DPS tests on Reddit, and with their ribbon, they were saying that the Aksomati normal was out DPSing the Prime. I haven't done extensive damage testings yet, but honestly, I can... Dude, 10% base damage versus 40% multi-shot, like, I can already tell you that that's going to be more DPS there, with that 40% multi-shot increase. Not to mention the 10% more crit chance on the build, too, so... I don't really like how they did that at all. I want them to, like, put the ribbons back to the way they were. And maybe if people complain enough, they will, but dude, it's so stupid. Like, why am I actually even having to consider using the normal version? It's the same kind of weapon. They literally have, like, 10% different base stats, like, damage-wise. It was not a good choice, in my opinion, and I hope they reverse it someday. And they're not going to reverse it, most likely. But yeah, as you see, guys, we ran out of ammo here because we don't have an ammo mutation mod, and now I have to just use my operator amp, which is honestly kind of just as effective, if not more effective, than this thing at killing groups of enemies. Because, yeah, this thing is not great against groups, either. It usually takes about, like, 5 to 10 bullets to kill one enemy at level like 100-ish. So I could just use my amp and probably like one-shot everything in the area. So yeah, it's not looking too good for this Aksomati Prime. But hey, at least they came with Ivara Prime, and Ivara Prime is pretty cool. So yeah, that's what it's got going for it, in my opinion. As far as other videos this week, guys, probably won't be a Nightwave video tonight. Like we said, we're going into the mode right now with the Nightwave intermission, where the intermission's never going to end, and we have no idea when it's going to end. So I'm just going to make the Nightwave videos if it's important. And it's not currently important because it's just generic weeks of Nightwave. Maybe if I'm really bored later tonight, I'll make it, but yeah. The next planned video is the Kuva Lich guide after DE releases their info tomorrow. If they don't release info tomorrow, wow, they really are waiting for that announcement. And we'll do the Kuva Lich guide maybe the day after, and I'll just do another weapon guide video or something like that. Or we could show a Void Hole. I don't know if you guys have seen Void Hole yet. That's pretty fun. I got that like a couple days ago, so that's it. Would I recommend these to you guys? No, I would not recommend these to you guys. I'd recommend the Kuva Dubba Stubba over this. But like I said earlier, this is something you can guaranteed farm because you get the prime parts and you can build it. But the Kuva Dubba Stubba is not a guaranteed drop in the slightest. You need to go through the Kuva Lich system. Either way, you need to either buy a Kuva Lich from somebody else and kill the Kuva Lich with the weapon you want, or you need to just get good RNG. And by the way, I've only gotten one Kuva Dubba Stubba ever that I wasn't traded for, so good luck with that. Like, that's why I'm hoping they announce some changes to the Lich system, because I could put out that guide, but I hope to God that they actually change that stuff, because I feel bad even like recommending half that stuff because Kuva Lich system is trash. So I'll talk to you guys next time. I hope that you found this helpful. And then, yeah, have a great night. I really appreciate all the support on Twitch, guys. If you haven't checked out the Twitch channel, make sure you do. Twitch.tv/Gaz_TTV. I really appreciate all the support. It really means a lot, guys, and it's been helping me through these really hard times at the beginning of 2020 that I've been experiencing. So, yeah, talk to you guys next time. Peace.